Today. Yeah, I'm not muted anymore, Jimmy. Today's all about getting unstuck. We're breaking down the 3 ways unsuccessful men. No, 3 ways successful men break through when feeling stuck. I just wrecked the whole opener. All right, on the morning loop, we're covering cannabis solutions for better sleep, shocking findings from expired salmon. And hey, listen, Meta's dropping some stuff you guys want to pay attention to coming up this morning. On center stage, we're getting real about pornography and addiction. And in the deep dive, practical ways to bust through mental blocks and get back in the game. The protein break, we're going to reveal secrets to lowering blood pressure and boosting brain health. And Morning Loop Reloaded will explore how microplastics might be hijacking that skull of yours, your brain, and uncover who exactly pissed in your soup. Yeah, you heard me say that. And of course, we got the community corner with a celebration of creators in the creator spotlight. Listen, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Your morning accountability partner is here. And remember, nation, we're your adult-only R-rated wake-up call, so headphones on and kids out. Skip the snooze or risk being 9 minutes behind the guy already who's making your coffee this morning. Guys, listen, we are getting after every single morning here at 8 o'clock Eastern time. Good morning, Benzie. I see you here in the lab. And listen, let's bring in the boys, Jimmy. Let's drive in and see who's hanging out here, hanging out. We got Marty in the white Less Brunch is More Crunch t-shirt with the red headphones on. Good morning, Mr. Christopher Martin, the boy wonder from Maryland.
What's up, baby?
Hey, baby. We got the old dog running a few seconds behind this morning. He gave me a note that he was, so just you and I are hanging out to kick the baby off. What's going on, pal?
You know, man, we here another day, man, you know.
Yes,
no complaints. I'm blessed to be here, you know.
Yes, we are. How was your weekend, pal?
It was pretty good, man. It was pretty chill. How about yourself?
My weekend was great. My weekend was actually really good. I had a wonderful weekend with my lovely bride. Lauren and I had a wonderful I spent some quality time together. Marty, intentional time together. She sent me a wonderful note on Friday saying, hey, let's spend some intentional time together. So we did. Extremely intentional. Spent time hanging out. Went and got the feet done. I got a pedicure done on my feet. Oh, I love it, man. I just love, I know bougie, but I love it, brother.
No, that's not bougie at all. That's what's up. Yeah.
It is what's up. Yeah. She's like, hey, you want to go to a date, get our feet done? I'm like, yeah, baby. So, but you know, here's the thing, Marty. I'm sitting there in the chair. My feet are in the water and the lady does one foot and then I look down and I'm like, and all of a sudden then my anxiety creeps up. Why, you're wondering? You're supposed to be relaxed? Because I'm realizing that half the job is done. I'm like, no, I'm loving this, man. Put the foot back in. Can I buy extra time?
Hey, nothing wrong with that, man. I don't know if you saw my story yesterday. I got a sports stretch and massage yesterday. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I did not know. How
she had the bar like on my calf muscles. My calves fucking suck.
Oh yeah.
She had the bar on my calf muscles, rolling them out. Oh my God, that shit hurt so good. So I'm with you. I did a little bit of self-care too this weekend.
Oh, I love that. Hey, we got a bunch of good topics this morning, and I'm grateful for the one you threw on my feed this morning. We're gonna get after tomorrow. Got a really organized show today. Marty, have you ever wondered? I don't know if you have, but have you ever wondered if cannabis could be the key to finally getting a perfect night's sleep? There's some groundbreaking research that said it might just be the solution you've been dreaming about. Good morning, Holroyd. I see you there. Yes, Marty.
I say this though, I have had like some CBD gummies.
Yeah.
I had some great sleep on those. I can admit that. I've switched to melatonin though. I just don't want to get in the habit of taking the CBD every night. It just don't sit right with me, you know. Like
100%. That's absolutely. Yeah, you don't strike me as somebody who puffs the cannabis at all. You don't strike.
Yeah, not really my thing.
Yeah,
but
I get that.
I'm with you though. I agree on that.
Yes, we got some new studies that suggesting medical cannabis holds promise for treating insomnia and even restless sleep disorders, Marty. Potentially transforming bedtime routines for millions. And hey, listen, Meta rolling out community notes, a bold move. We're going to get into that in a few moments this morning as well.
Well, I was about to say real quick, I had a company reach out. I didn't even respond to them, but it was like CBD everything. They like CBD juice, CBD, and I'm just like, I don't even feel right promoting it, but you might see that soon, Keith. We'll see.
I love it. And an alarming discovery, Marty, from the pantry. Scientists uncovered shocking surprises lurking inside decades-old canned salmon. And I think it's going to be time for us to be thinking about what's sitting in the cupboard.
Oh, God.
Yeah, exactly.
Who pissed in the salmon?
So stick around. We're going to have those stories coming up. But before we get there, it looks like
real quick. Let me jump in real quick, Marty. If you're going to get yourself a sponsor from a CBD company, go for it, brother. I got one of those. They're amazing. CBD. you don't notice shit. It just straight deals with inflammation. It just, I mean, you could, I mean, I've got this stuff where it's like droppers. It's like, it's really intense, like 3,000 fucking milligrams per drop, right?
Yeah.
And I will, of course, I always like push limits. So I'll fucking squeeze like half a dropper in there. God knows how many things, but it doesn't do shit because I wanted to understand.
Yeah.
Well, because if I'm going to recommend this to my fucking clients who get drug tested, I want to fucking know.
Yeah.
You know, if there's something. A lot of times the CBD will have just a little bit of the other stuff, whatever the fuck the other strain is.
THC.
You know what I mean?
Well, and Holroyd comes saying, I got a pen for the CBD. It has low level THC, but sleep is fantastic. Yeah, so I might be a little bit of a cannabis connoisseur. Maybe puffed a little bit in my lifetime. Probably a lot. And I can tell you guys.
They said that's how you came up with ICUC.
True story. Yeah, just fucking banged it. These letters fall to the sky. I'm like, all right, there you go. But yeah, so I know that those CBD caplets or CBD edibles certainly helpful. And you just get the little like the negligible THC graft in there, but doing more and more studies around the CBD product for sure. But Andersen, how are you, brother? How are you today, my friend? Yeah,
I'm good, brother. Oh yeah, I'm
good. Your internet sorted out there. How's the storm? Is it blowing the Wi-Fi around, Johnny?
Oh, it's completely gone. These things are coming. They come and go quick around here.
Yeah, yeah, I know you did. Yeah,
I was late because man, I was having like one of those dumps that you just didn't want to stop. Like, I can't. This is one of these things. I'll be late for just about anything for this one.
Hold on, man. I got some questions. Hold on, man.
You go.
What does that mean? Is it just not? Is it nonstop? Does it just keep dumping, and now it's like I don't want to stop? What was the relief good that you didn't want to move? What does that consist of?
Well, I mean, I guess when it comes down to it, it's just like anything else, when I'll put it into basketball terms. I have to imagine there's been a time when you're going up for a like a three from a fucking long ways out, and you could just tell right here that this thing's going to be a good one, right? So do you mess with that, or do you question if it's going to be a good shot, or do you just fucking let it go?
Marty, he threw the ball to you, Marty. You asked for the ball. He threw it to you. It's your responsibility now to handle the ball.
I mean, you want an answer. That's the fucking honest answer. It's like you just don't fuck with those things that are coming down the pipe properly.
Look, I understand in basketball terms, but I still need a clear answer on what that means in the dump world.
Grasshopper, you just need a little bit more life experience, Grasshopper.
So hold up. So Keith, hold up, Keith. So you understand it, Keith. You know what he's talking about, Keith?
Well, I'm thinking it's one of those situations where you're sitting down with a good book and you're like, all right, children, all right, family. Dad's in the bathroom for a while. He's reading a chapter.
Okay. All right. I got you. I got you now.
Oh man.
But I get it also the flip side. You think with my choice of how I chose to live my life, I'm going to say I've crapped at least twice as much, maybe 65, 70% more than the average person. So just like that guy that does, that many more jump shots, he understands more about that jump shot than anybody. That neurocircuitry is there.
Yeah. Exactly. Ben's the exact. We're going to measure it. It might be a world record. A fit presenter coming in. We're talking cannabis a few moments ago. I smoked my last Jablonski 31 years ago, high school, spring break, staying up all night, working up at noon. I smoked at J, passed out, and got my sleep schedule back in order. Then I retired for good.
So that was 31 years ago. C. Marty Fit was 1 year old. I was a baby, and Fit Presenter was blowing blunts.
Hey, Johnny, I have a topic that I have in the queue for this week, and I was thinking about you, and I found it during my research this weekend. How to properly clean the bidet.
Clean the bidet or clean with the bidet? Clean the bidet.
I got no info for you. That's not in my job description.
I know, but I'm like,
all I do is blow them up. That's what I do. It's like in the Army, they're the guys who shoot the missiles, and then there's the guys who come behind and clean up the mess. Yeah, I'm not in that second group of people.
I'm not surprised.
That poor lady that cleans up for you, man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you pay her well, though. I'm sure it's worth it. I'm sure you pay her just fine.
Well, I mean, you figure anytime somebody works for you or does something, you want them to feel like they're being compensated properly on multiple levels. Otherwise, it's a bad deal.
That's it. That's it. Hey guys, have you ever scrolled through social media and wondered what's really true? Man, more than ever, it seems like, right? Well, listen, Meta, and this is important to all of us because we pretty much all use products that Meta touches. If you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Threads, if you're somewhere on social media, you're more than likely touching Meta. Well, Meta is about to change the game with their new Community Notes feature, launching tomorrow, March 18th. It's all about giving you, the user, the power to provide context to content across Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. And guys,
say that one more time, brother. What is it again?
Yeah, it's called Community Notes. And this is not just a small tweak, Johnny. It's a shift in how the content is moderated online.
Let me add another layer because Johnny might not be familiar.
Yeah.
So let's say someone goes on Instagram and makes a video like, don't eat protein. Protein is what's going to make you fat. You can respond with the community note saying, no, protein is actually the most important macronutrient, yada, 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 yada. You can basically rebuttal somebody if they put some bullshit online. So that's basically what it is. You can do it on Twitter, but now Instagram's about to allow it.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And
it's almost like the community looking out for the community.
Yeah, it's exactly. And Marty, to your point, Meta's Community Notes has been inspired by X's open source algorithm that lets users add notes up to 500 characters with supporting links to posts that they find misleading. And these
have you seen it on X when people put some shit out there? Oh my God, they get cooked in the community notes. Oh my goodness.
I gotta be honest. So here's what I found interesting. When I come from the world of moderation, my business, my life was built on moderating content and what people can and cannot see. For the record, I hate moderation because it diffuses freedom of speech. I love the community notes feature. I'm a fan of it. The notes go public only after contributors with diverse viewpoints agree they're helpful, unlike previous fact checking. And get this, already over 200,000 people have signed up in the US with a broader global rollout planned after thorough testing. So what you can do right now, guys, is if you want it, you can sign up to contribute if you're over 18. And when you see those community notes appear, engage with them. Rate the notes thoughtfully to help shape a more accurate online discourse. The reality is, guys, all of the social platforms we're moving towards are more than likely going to have some kind of community notes situation. And it's the power of the community, Johnny and Marty, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Times are changing, baby.
That's it. That's exactly it. I like that.
Yeah, we need it. We need it, man, because people be saying anything online.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. All over the place. All over the place. Hey, here's something, guys. Get this. Have you ever opened a pantry? Have you ever opened a pantry and found something totally unexpected? Researchers at the University of Washington did exactly that. This one grossed me right out, guys. Discovering a shocking surprise. Johnny, you're going to love this. A shocking surprise in expired salmon cans. A surprise that's offering...
oh, my God.
Yeah, offering insights into the marine ecosystem of health. This discovery isn't just quirky science. It offers crucial insights. And here's what it was. These researchers from the University of Washington stumbled upon 178 expired canned salmon tins, originally intended for quality control, dating from 1979 to 2021.
Well, fuck, man. Now, Jesus Christ, if I found something that was from the 70s in a can, I mean, let's be honest. You open that motherfucker, you get what you fucking get what you deserve. Jesus Christ.
Inside.
So hold on before you reveal it. Yeah. So basically, it was Keith and John Salmon.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
The salmon was as old as y'all two motherfuckers.
We'd have been 7 years old, actually.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right. A little bit younger than you guys.
Inside.
And even at the 7 year mark, you know, if the can was only 7 years, it might have been a little dicey. We're talking like how many? Fucking 3 decades.
Inside
4
the
decades.
Salmon, they discovered anisakid parasites, small worms preserved perfectly. And get this. Surprisingly enough, these parasite numbers increased significantly in the chum and the pink salmon, suggesting a positive trend linked to the recovery of these mammals. So what can you do, guys? First, educate yourself about where the seafood comes from. Second, support local conservation efforts. But the reality is, you got salmon sitting in your cupboard for years on end. There might be bugs or worms growing in it.
Well, but hold on. If we were to get ourselves like a high-powered fucking microscope and start running our food under there,
yes,
you wouldn't want to eat. You wouldn't, Marty. You wouldn't eat it once you saw what was on our food.
I believe it. I believe it.
I mean, there's all sorts of fucking crazy little bugs jumping around and doing a bunch of weirdo shit. I swear to God, dude, these little fuckers are dancing up a storm, thinking I'm eating this big motherfucker's food.
Oh man,
and that's one of the reasons why our stomachs have this really powerful acid is to kill what goes in there.
Yeah,
because we're constantly eating stuff. Excuse me, that has parasites and bacteria.
Yeah. Hey, you're hanging.
Granted, worms is different,
Yes, that's crazy.
Yes. Hey, you're hanging out with Keith, John, and Marty. Mornings in Live with Keith and friends. This is the Morning Loop, morning news that men can use in the first 50 minutes of the show. How about that for a hook, you guys? Listen, before we get to the accountability check-in, could cannabis be the sleep solution we've all been searching for? Listen, quality sleep isn't just a luxury.
Is that me or him?
Cannabis is
that's him.
Benefits.
Thank God.
Yeah. Hold on.
I got some case study on myself with this one, brother. So we got some good insight.
Good. So understanding cannabis's potential benefits and risks can empower you to make informed decisions. Guys, listen, some recent studies reveal that medicinal cannabis, particularly formulations containing THC and CBD, significantly improve insomnia symptoms, reducing sleep onset time by over 20 minutes and increasing sleep duration. Interestingly enough, indica strains outperform sativa and CBD dominant strains for insomnia relief. And Johnny, Marty, these emerging studies suggest that cannabis may also offer relief. And I was wondering about you guys when I found the story. It also may offer relief from restless legs syndrome. Johnny, have you dealt with restless leg syndrome or heard about that before?
Well, number one, I haven't dealt with it, and it's for all the idiots that live their life in a way where their fucking body's going haywire. But I actually got a funny story about this whole sleep and fucking cannabis, dude.
Yes.
Are we talking or are we breaking for the accountability?
No, I want to hear what you try to tell me. Yeah.
So I got a buddy of mine, he's got pretty big in the weed world, all legal. You know what I mean? And so, he's got a boy working for him and they're doing, his boy was kind of doing like a little side hustle.
Yeah.
So fuck, I'll support the boy, and he was, there's a CBD, I don't know what the fucking strains are. One of them is supposed to help you sleep, right?
Yes. Indica.
And no, forgive me. That's like is a strain inside weed. Like CBD is a strain inside the weed, correct?
Yeah. So there's really basically two strains of weed. You got indica and you got sativa, just like white wine and red wine. So indica is more like in the couch, like I'm gonna go sit in the couch, and sativa is known to get you going and get you moving. You want to go skiing, you want to go crush basketball. So indica is the couch, sativa is getting you going.
But isn't inside one of these, or maybe both of them, there's CBD and then there's maybe NBD or fucking all these BDs in there. One of them's supposed to help you just sleep, right?
Okay.
At least that's what I was fucking told. Was wrong or right?
Well,
right?
CBD is very much for that, but keep going.
Yeah, well, there was CBD because I already had the sponsor at this point. So there was another strain. Supposedly, it was just supposed to fucking put you to sleep. And I was like, in my bodybuilding career, man, you would go, sleep was tough because especially coming into a competition, you're fucking running hot and you got 6 weeks of just doing shit that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And sleep becomes brutal. Like sometimes you're not sleeping much at all. And that really fucks you up in multitude of ways. So anyway, so my buddy's like, hey, my boy, he's breaking these things up and he's getting this strain that helps you sleep. So it doesn't really mess you up, just helps you sleep. I think, it's fucking great. That's what I need. So I go and I buy a bunch of these fucking capsules from him. And I'm thinking to myself, in my mind, it's like just going to help you sleep. It's not going to get you messed up, right? So I have these things fucking sitting in my bathroom in like a little fucking coin dish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I take one of these things and dude, I was just fucking messed up. Like could barely fucking walk through the house. And I was like, Jesus Christ, did the fucking girls get their hands on one of these? Because they were teenage girls in the house. I basically had this little coin dish full of like highly powerful edible fucking. So I got lucky with that one because the fucking kids. Oh, what's this?
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning.
My findings, are just for sleep was it helps up front. But then once your body becomes dependent, and it could be anything, now all of a sudden you've got yourself a fucking problem. So I think that there's two sides of the coin.
Yes. And listen, if you're considering cannabis to improve your sleep, my recommendation, the same recommendation I had with my mom a couple years back, start with low microdose levels, 1 to 2.5 milligrams of THC, ideally balanced with CBD to minimize potential side effects. Choose strains that are rich in terpenes like marquine, pinene, and carfenylene for maximum relaxation and sleep enhancement. Guys, listen, you want to talk cannabis? Come knock on my door. I know a little bit about it along the way. And I live in the great country of Canada where we like to have our cannabis legalized, which is what we do here in our big nation.
Well, you know, real quick, before you do this, I got one simple thing that works fucking far better than any fucking sleep aid, especially cannabis, right?
Yeah.
And it's fucking free. It's called a set fucking bedtime.
Yes. There's such power in that, man. Holy smoke. Ever since doing this morning, I've been leaning on that set bedtime last night, Johnny. Put my head down, sleep instantly. Like just boom. Instantly.
Dude, just like you, it's like, I swear to God, it's just like turning off a light switch.
Yeah. I got a good topic for tomorrow's show. I think it is the Navy SEALs. 3 your quick tips to help people fall asleep really quickly. We're gonna get to that one tomorrow. But guys, Jimmy, let's do the accountability check and then come back and we're gonna talk pornography on the center stage segment here coming up in a few moments. All right, listen, you tell yourself you'll start when you're ready, but life slows down. When life slows down, when things feel easier, but here's the truth, you guys. You don't wait until you're strong to start training. Could you imagine waiting until you're strong until you start training? You're like, yeah, I'm just going to start training now. No, really? No, you train to become strong. You don't wait until you're skilled to take action. You take action to build the skill, and yet the longer you wait, the harder it gets. It's funny how that works. We often wait to do something when the reality is to get the skill, we have to do it. That coaching program, yeah, it's just still an idea, right? That business move, wow, it's still sitting in your notes. That health goal, you pushed it to someday. You know that magical day on the calendar that doesn't exist? Not someday. Listen, waiting doesn't protect you. It steals your time. Yeah, true story, because time's coming at you. The more you wait, the more you deflect, the more you procrastinate. Here is how to break the cycle. Start small and simple. Post an idea. Today, just put 10 push-ups. Send 1 email. If you got 10 to send today, get 1 done. You'll feel good about yourself. Shrink the timeline. Give yourself 40 hours to take a real step instead of taking 72. And stack that proof fast. Stacking proof fast builds accountability, builds confidence, and helps you move forward. That small win builds momentum, gets you another. Guys, listen, action isn't about feeling ready. It's about proving you can start and keep going even when the going gets tough. So I remind you, take 1 thing. Just get 1 thing done today. You'll feel good about yourself. You'll build that confidence. Next thing you know, you're doing 2 things, doing 3 things. You're unstuck. You're moving forward. There's your accountability check-in this morning. Mornings in the lab with Keith and friends. Amy, you're right. Cut out the alcohol and you'll sleep just fine. There's certainly something to be said for that. There's absolutely something to be said for that. All right, guys, let's get into this one with John and Marty. I'm going to start the conversation as the boys will work their way back into the lab here. Listen, pornography. Porn is everywhere, yet it remains a taboo topic. Today, we're going to break the silence, diving deep into why talking about porn is not just important, but necessary for healthier relationships, better understanding, and safeguarding the next generation. And guys, this conversation matters because ignoring it can lead to unrealistic expectations, strained relationships, and confusion, especially for the young people navigating intimacy and sexuality. And here's what this one struck me, Johnny and Marty. This one struck me. Johnny, I know you got your headphones and you're going to hear this, but get this, guys. This one's crazy. Marty, recent research highlighted a shocking reality. Most children encounter pornography by the age of 12. And by age 17, Johnny, one last thing, over 70% have viewed explicit content. Hang on that, guys. By the age of 12, most children haven't viewed it. And by age 17, over 70% of children have watched and participated in pornography. John, Marty, let's start there.
That's better than I thought. Shit, man. If I was a kid in today's time and I had a fucking phone in my hand, first thing I'm looking up is some ass. That was my mentality as a kid. Yeah, so all it was going to take was You give me that fucking phone with a Wi-Fi signal in 5 minutes by myself, and I'm gonna go find something to look at, and I'm gonna go crush that thing like a wildcat. That's what I'm talking about. And it was just driven. It's like we're talking like Call of the Wild shit.
Yeah.
You know, but I was doing that with the Sears catalog. You give me a phone where I can get to real action. I mean, I actually think 12 is pretty good. I would have thought it was more like fucking 7.
Johnny, you know, the more you keep, you know, we keep revealing ourselves, like you and I to each other. Like, I was right there with you. I was probably right there in the same room with you in that same situation. I was 12.
I mean, it almost wouldn't have been fair. It almost wouldn't have been fair. Give me the access to that and tell me no. You better fucking block that shit.
I was 12 years old when I discovered my dad's box. 12, and then he caught me with the box, and I had to sit down with my mom with the box. Yeah,
what's the box?
My dad had a big box of his porn, like his magazines and all that stuff.
Okay.
So I found the box. Keith got into it, and then Keith took magazines to his bedroom, and then one day Dad found them, and one day then Keith has to sit down with Mom and explain to Mom that Keith is looking at Dad's porn. Ah, man, just what a misery. But this 12 years old, and Johnny, like yourself and Marty, I remember that text I sent you a couple weeks ago. I was like, dude, I opened up Instagram, and this is the first thing I saw. And Marty, all I saw was what did I send you a picture of? About a half.
Oh, you did send me a picture of that. Yeah. It was crazy.
Like, holy smokes, Johnny. Like, you're right. I would not be a healthy young man if I woke up 12 years old with today's Instagram.
And it's not, it like almost wouldn't be fair to say, hey, here's this over here, but don't look at that, please. Oh, it's like you couldn't put a cake in front of me and tell me not to eat it. It wasn't going to happen.
What's even
I would take whatever ass whipping I was going to get for eating that cake. Period. End of story.
Yeah. Marty.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. You don't need like Adam just said. It's all over Instagram, right? You're kind of exposed to it at an early age. I think at 32, I'm part of the last generation that had like a normal childhood. Yeah, like I still had some type of innocence.
Yes,
I probably didn't really look at that stuff till like 13, 14.
Yes.
But that's only because kids around me were talking about it.
Right.
But if it wasn't for that, I probably would have been exposed to it till, as an adult, because I still was always playing basketball. I always was in camps. I always was busy. So as parents, you kind of got to I don't know. I don't think you can even nowadays. I don't think you can stop it.
Well, that's why I think we have to talk about it. I really do, because you know what? And even more so, guys, like today's pornography often includes unrealistic portrayals of relationships, consent, intimacy, potentially creating harmful expectations. And Johnny, I don't know if you spent any time recently on Instagram. I know more than you have, and I was doing some research. The amount of AI females now being created on
Instagram, my God, it's crazy.
Holy smokers, man. You want to talk, I'm going to say it, pedophilia? You want to talk about young kids that you can't blur the line, whether they're 14, 15, 16, 18. I'm being serious, man. It is fucking crazy what's happening over on that platform right now.
Yeah, Instagram is crazy, man. I see little teenage girls, like not AI girls, like actual girls underage popping up on my timeline.
Yes.
And doing like nasty stuff. I will whoop my daughter if I see my daughter doing that. Bro. You know what I mean? But it's ridiculous, man.
I do. Johnny?
Yeah, it's like the whole thing just fucking baffles me, because obviously, like Keith, we were alive through prior to social media, with social media. Yeah. And I remember back when the fucking first dating sites came out.
Yes, right? You both.
And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Or John,
it's like going fishing, so to speak, and going to you're going to Safeway.
Yes.
You just fucking it's granted, if you're buying assets that's considered, like prostitution, but it's the same concept. It's like you're not going out into the wild to try to run down your prey, so to speak. It's like that whole element got taken out of the equation, and somehow it's like the lion doesn't really like the kill. He likes the fucking pursuit to the kill. We don't have enough lions left.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy now, Johnny? They have guys like, say I'll go to a concert and there's some pretty girls next to me. I take my phone out, take a video, put the girls in a video, and they'll be like, hey, find her Instagram and tell her I like her. What? She's sitting right next to you. Just talk to her. You know what I mean? So I'm right there with you, Johnny. I'm right there with you. It's crazy.
Well, and it's created this whole thing where, I mean, if people can't fucking talk to one another, how the hell are they ever going to actually get to know one another? Like before all of these fucking, now how many sites is there where you could just put your shit in and just find people to go hook up with? I get that if you just want to find a quick hookup, but that used to be part of fucking Friday. That used to be part of the fun of Friday night.
Yeah.
It's like I gotta fucking get in my car and I gotta go hunt one of these down.
I really believe that the two crucial steps to address this issue effectively, because listen, guys, porn is entertainment. It's not education. So us as parents, we got to start having the conversation. We got to be open. We got to be direct. We got to have age appropriate when discussing pornography. But here's the thing, right? Is that, when I see some of the content I see on Instagram, especially with the AI stuff, I'm questioning what is age appropriate. I believe you just got to be blunt about it, right? And you got to normalize the dialogue to reduce the shame and promote understanding, right? And then we got to encourage our young folks to question and critically evaluate what they see, right? Clearly distinguishing between their performing, their entertaining, and the reality of respectful, consensual intimacy. Boys, I got a young man. He's 18. Him and I talk about sex and these things often, and I'm always banging in his head. Be respectful, consent, respect, right? Because without that, what the hell is there? There's nothing, right?
So I don't know what it's like now, but I know coming up, I was fortunate enough to go to programs for young men, athletes, right, where we were taught like what can happen if you don't consent. These are the consequences. You need to consent to. You need this. You know what I mean? And then they would show examples of athletes that got in trouble.
Yes.
So I learned that in an early age. I don't know if dudes aren't learning that now, but definitely as a parent, you gotta or a coach, you gotta definitely put that into kids because young boys could be stupid.
100%. So men, our parents, I invite you to do this. Think about it. When was the last time you had an honest conversation about pornography and its impact? Because here's the thing, guys. If you're not, they're finding it on Instagram like today, like right this second. They are. It's right. To Johnny's point, it's in their phone. It's one tap away. And they actually have an account.
Dude.
It gets right there.
It's like a fucking heroin addict. You can't fucking put a baggie in front of a heroin addict and say, leave that there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When a young, like I can only speak for myself. When I was a young boy, when I was just fucking bursting with the, that I could just fucking I guess you'd put it fucking bluntly, man. It was like I was just fucking bursting with fucking wanting to, I guess what's the term? Everything was sex. You know what I mean? It was like my mind was so geared towards, and it was like I walked around with a fucking boner all the time.
Well, here's the thing, Johnny, and I think I can speak for both of us. We have issues with the dopamine in our brain, and we love chasing it, and that's why you and I come back to habit stacking often, because when we don't habit stack, I am going to speak for you and I. When we don't habit stack, we get fucking pulled in the direction of dopamine hits. So habit stacking for guys like you and I keeps us in the right direction, because without it, it's madness. It's staring in the fucking fridge. It's staring in the fucking pantry. It's chasing the Sears magazine. It's just chasing dopamine hits. So hence the power.
And we didn't understand that back then.
Exactly. Hence, when I met you and we've been hanging out now for almost a good year, the idea of habit stacking has really been impactful for me as well. So guys, talk about porn with your kids.
I want to add this real quick.
Yeah.
In middle school, I went to all boys school.
Oh yeah.
And I told my mom, I said, I gotta go to co-ed for high school, man.
Yeah.
I gotta go to co-ed. This isn't gonna cut it. I was coming from a co-ed public school, went to all boys private school. Yeah, I'm out of here.
That's it. All right, let's do the fit tip with C. Marty Fit. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna talk about breaking through and feeling stuck, you guys. Coming up in a moment after Marty's C. Marty Fit tip of the day. Get after Marty.
Yes, sir. All right, man, fitness tip for today. Understand that in your fitness journey, this might not happen to everybody, but it'll happen to some of you. I was talking to someone at the gym about this today. You're going to evolve in your fitness journey past some of your friends. What does that mean? They might start off with you. You might start doing workouts together. You might have a friend that falls off. They just can't stick with it. They can't get disciplined. They can't make their mind up. They can't commit. You can't let that hold you back. You have other friends. Your workouts might be too difficult for them. They might want to do something a little easier, right? A little less intense. That's okay. But there's nothing wrong with your journey. If you find peace in your workout plan, if your workout plan gets you a great start to your day, if it has your body looking the way that you want to look, if it's improving your cognitive function, improving your mentality, improving your mindset, you keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anybody throw you off because they don't like what you're doing. They can't commit. They don't want to go hard in the gym. You're doing too much. That's what people say. You're doing the right thing, right? Again, we're doing this for longevity. We want to be fit for the rest of our lives, as long as God willing, as long as we can. So don't let someone hold you back, discourage you from the plan that works for you. Let's keep getting this work in. That's the fitness tip for today.
Eastern time, see Marty Fit every single day. Something for you guys to think about to get yourself fit. Yes, sirree, baby. Listen, guys, the big topic today, the deep dive topic. Have you ever felt completely stuck no matter how much success you've had? I've been there. This morning.
Hold on, say that again. Completely stuck. What? Yeah, you broke. You had a little freeze, Marty, and I missed whatever the word was. The key word was missed.
Was it the sneeze? Boys, here's the hook again. Have you ever felt completely stuck no matter how much success you've had? Over the next,
I heard sex. Did you hear sex?
I heard sex.
I was like, you're completely stuck no matter how much sex you have.
I was like,
fuck,
hold on.
What are we?
Whoa,
are we fucking canines where the shit gets in there and swells up and we can't pull it out?
Hey, look, I know we get a little rowdy on here sometimes, but I know that's not where we're going today.
I love it. This morning, over the next few minutes, we're going to unpack 3 key strategies successful men use to break free from feeling stuck, regain momentum, and reach full potential. And guys, feeling stuck isn't just frustrating. It can lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and even depression. And I've been there, guys. I've absolutely been there where, you're like, oh my God, I feel stuck, right? And knowing these proven methods we're going to talk about in a few moments can reignite your passion, clarify your purpose, and set you back on track for personal and professional fulfillment. And number one, and this is one that I struggled with until I had my shit sorted out later in life, guys, but it's the idea of clarifying your values. Johnny, starting with you, my friend. Successful men start their breakthroughs by reflecting on their core values and prioritizing, right? Research shows that aligning your life with core values reduces internal conflict and increases happiness and motivation. John, for the longest time, I struggled with what my values were, so I didn't know why I was happy or wasn't unhappy. Talk about the power of values, Johnny.
Well, I think the first thing, and I'm lucky enough that I went through this. I think my lucky stars that I have this experience. But I got to a certain point in my life, and I was like, all right, from this point forward, I'm not going to do anything to make money unless I enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so because because prior to that, I was doing shit for the dollar, right? And when you're doing stuff for the dollar bill, rather than what you want to do, it's just the way we're wired. We're constantly fucking pushing the limits of what's okay.
Yes.
As to where when you're doing something you're passionate about, something you want to do, you don't run into that. So for me, I got really fucking lucky with the fact that I made that decision. I saw very clearly that my life could take a whole new step in a more enriched direction by doing this, and I did it. But I don't think that a lot of people ever have that chance, nor do they even have the thought. So if you're chasing a dollar, it's a fucking tough balance, man.
Yeah, very, very, very true. Very true. Marty, number 2 on this whole list here is challenging your limiting beliefs. We talk about it on the show often. Studies from cognitive behavioral therapy and neuroscience confirm the power of challenging negative thought patterns and reframing beliefs and setting incremental achievable goals helps overcome self-imposed barriers. Marty, talk about this idea of challenging your limiting beliefs. I can't do it. Says who? You can do it. You got to put your time in to do it. Marty, limiting beliefs.
Yeah, if you have that negative mindset, what do you think you're going to accomplish?
Yeah.
What success do you think you're going to have, right? And a lot of people don't reach their goals because they have that thought before they even try.
Yes.
I'm never going to get in shape. Yeah, you're not. You're going right back to Cheetos and not going to the gym. So there's no way that you're going to reach whatever. And at the same time, you got to understand we're human. You know, it happened to me last week. You know, I had some negative thoughts. You know, I had some rough stuff happen. But you got to snap back into it. You got to snap out of it, right? No, let's fucking go. I'm the man. I'm that woman. I'm that girl, right?
Yes.
And think about your accomplishments, right? That made you the person you are today.
Yes.
You're still here, right? So that means you got through 100% of the things that you thought were going to hold you back. So
well, you know,
I could go off on that all day.
You know, Marty, if I think back to what Jory has taught us and taught me specifically over the last our time together, is this idea of a moment in time. And you just said the last week you had a tough week. Well, that was a moment, right? It was, so you had a few, but kind of how it was.
Yeah, you went out again, Keith.
What the hell, man? I don't know why I'm going out here.
Yeah. All right, we get back now.
Listen, brother. I gotta be fucking honest, man. I'm much happier when it's you than me.
Me too.
Listen, Johnny. So, and using habit stacking to create momentum, right? Leveraging existing routines to build new beneficial habits creates those small wins, right? So this practice known as habit stacking significantly increases consistency and reduces the mental load of formation. So we've talked about it in the show often about habit stacking. And today we're talking about 3 successful ways that you can break through when you're feeling stuck. And it's this idea of find your values, clarify them, challenge your limiting beliefs. And then what I love and I've learned from Johnny is just take habits and stack them to create momentum, right? And this practice gets you moving forward time and time again. Talk about that, Johnny.
Well, so I mean, here's the deal. Anybody that's trying to do something great, I'm not talking about fucking showing up to a job where you're trading your time for money, and there's no, we're talking about starting a business. We're talking about doing something that's never been done before. We're talking about doing something where everybody tells you you're fucking nuts. Once you're on that side of the fence, you're going to end up having a lot of challenges, in which we're talking about here. Here's the thing that I've always fallen back on myself. Is I've been told that I was fucking nuts my whole fucking life, even when I wanted to get back into normal classes as a kid, right? Literally, this just fucking started when I was just a little son of a bitch. So anyway, here's the thing. You're going to go into these like really, really intense periods of the light where fuck, man, I'm making progress. This is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
But you're going to have the equal darkness, and it's going to be just as intense. And you're going to be like, fuck, I'm not making progress. What am I doing? All that negative shit. Everybody's voices are going to tell you couldn't, going to get really loud. Well, here's the thing. All you've got to do is look at your day-to-day life. Are you doing the shit that got you to that first big bright, that first holy shit, this is amazing, to the brightness, And
yes.
if you are, that's what you focus on. Because if you're listening to the voices, if you're paying attention to the darkness, then you have no gauge. It doesn't make it ever. It's so dark you don't know if you're making progress. It's the idea of you're working and nothing's happening. Well, how do you know that you're actually making progress if you can't see the forward momentum because it's so dark? Well, you look back at what am I doing daily? Because if I'm still doing my shit and I'm still developing my loop, I'm making progress. It's just so fucking dark. I can't see it.
Yes.
Keep fucking going.
So what I would invite our audience to do today is pick one limiting belief that's holding you back, because we all have them. And, I've been talking with you guys often on the show, especially lately, that if you're getting the same results from the same actions, maybe it's time to change the actions so you can get a different result. So pick one limiting belief. So, for example, maybe you've been hitting the snooze button. Stop hitting the snooze button. You're going to find yourself 9 minutes. Over a week is 45 minutes ahead. I can't get up early enough. Well, no, that's a limiting belief. It's holding you back. Write it down, right? And then not hit the snooze button. And then when you do that, you're going to have progress, right? And that simple act of habit stacking, not hitting the snooze button, getting your coffee ready, brushing your teeth, all those things are going to help move forward and get unstuck in life. Marty, anything you want to drop before we wrap up the segment on getting unstuck and dropping those limiting beliefs? Marty.
Yeah, just I'm bringing it back to, where I was when I stopped talking. It's just part of the process, man. It's part of life.
Yes.
No matter how well you think you're doing, there's going to be some type of obstacle, and it's always going to happen when you least expect it. So just understand that you're human. It happens to me, Keith, John. We be on this show going through shit. But it's just part of the process, man. So don't think that you're worse or less than because you're going through it.
Awesome.
And on that level, brother, I so love it. It's just part of the process. We have to remind ourselves, if we don't understand sour, then we'll never understand sweet.
Oh, I like that.
If you don't understand fucking pitch black, questioning yourself, that, oh my God, what the fuck am I going to do, is what makes the, oh my God, I'm fucking going to like jump out of my skin because I'm so fucking amazed and so happy and so blah, blah, blah. You need those. Without one, you don't have the other.
Yep.
Yes.
Can't appreciate joy without the pain.
No, you can't. I found an awesome, I'm just trying to see if I can find it here quickly for you guys. I don't think I can, but if I grab it, I'll find it here. Let's go to the lifestyle tip. And if I find this, tweet that I saw yesterday, it's a good one that relates to
that's him, correct, Mark? Oh fuck, Marty left.
You're up there, Johnny.
It was all broke up. I guess it's time. All right. Your brain, my brain, they're all fucked up. Brains are fucked up. They're designed to keep us alive back when survival for a human being was very, very difficult. So it needed to be aware of the threats in our surroundings to keep us alive. Well, in today's world, we don't have those type of threats, but our brain is still looking for those threats, looking for those challenges, looking for those things that could possibly take us out. And so what happens is if it can't find something really, really dangerous, it'll create some sort of a messed up thought. So when you're finding yourself in this place where you're just having all these negative thoughts and you're stressed out about all this shit, here's a drill. It works like a charm. Take a piece of paper, put a line right down the middle. On the left side, write down all the shit that stressed you out for the last 30 days. On the right side, write down the stuff that actually came to reality. And you will see about 75% of the stuff you're all fucked up over never comes to reality. It only lives in your mind. And what does that mean? It means we're suffering over shit that never happens. It means we're paying consequences for parts of our life that never came to reality. And do we need to do that? Hell no. But we need to be aware it's happening so we can actually put a stop to it. So anytime you're having one of those days, try this drill. Piece of paper, split it down the middle. You know what to do. It'll really help you see what's real and what's not, which will really help put you back onto a path where you can be a much happier human being. Rock and roll.
Anymore, Jimmy. I guess I got to do the old reset of the machine again here today for some ridiculous reason. But hey,
it was weird, dude. You broke up, right? Yeah. And then fucking Marty dropped off, and I was like, "Is it?" Because basically, you're going to my segment. I thought the whole thing was all fucked up again. Even Marty dropped off. Next thing you know, I ended up by my. Next thing you know, I'm on the screen with myself, like, "Oh, look at the time."
That's it. Good morning, Jordy. Good to see you here. Before we get to the next segment, guys, I just want to bring us back to the last one here. Guys, listen to this one. You can't truly call yourself peaceful unless you're capable of great violence. If you're not capable of violence, you're not peaceful. You're harmless.
Jordan Peterson?
There's an important distinction in that. I found that quite fascinating. No, actually. Elon
like something he would say. Oh, okay.
Yeah, all these really wise motherfuckers understand. I mean, it's kind of like we're saying, if you don't understand sour, you'll never understand sweet.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be that you need to be a warrior in a garden. You can go to war, but you'd rather spend your time in a garden.
I found this quite fascinating because we're obviously trying to find peace in the world, right? And you can't be peace unless you're going to have great violence, right? Or else you're just a harmless human being. So I thought that was quite fascinating. But Jory, how are you this morning? How was your weekend, Jory Jansen?
Good. Oh, by the way, John, I saw the whole thing go down. Yeah, you were left on your own.
I saw that, Jory.
Because we would have these little blips all day. Well, I guess that's the beautiful thing about, my segment is just, pow, I just fucking come up with this. So it wasn't like I was like off cue, like, oh shit, where's my stuff? I was like, oh, I guess it's my turn.
That's right.
Hey, Keith, I got to roll. I just wanted to say hi to Jory.
All right, Marty. Oh, awesome. I'm glad you guys sit down with Jory.
Hey, real quick, what happened to your vehicle? Did it get towed? We were trying to figure out what happened to it.
Yeah, it got towed, man. It's some shit with the
right at the end of the show, I was like, because we were like, did it get stolen? I'm like, wait a minute, Keith. If he's going to get the car, it got towed. So we figured it out.
Man.
That's
fucking yeah.
What did it get towed for?
It was some stuff with a parking pass, man. Just apparently the parking pass got updated. I never got I got no messages about it. So now I'm in a dispute with the people and trying to get them to reimburse me for getting the car towed. So
isn't it the worst feeling, Marty, when you go and you think I parked my car there and it's not there, right? And you're like, what the hell? My car was there when I left it there last night, right?
And I'm so dependent on my car, just getting around, getting shit done. So it kind of fucked my day up. Excuse my language, but yeah.
Mark, one of the things I'll just say, but just because at your age, I was kind of turning this corner too. There's a certain point where you're going to realize, you know what? My time is better spent into developing rather than going back and trying to chase down this fucking X amount of dollars for getting a tow. Let this shit roll off my back. I'm going to just move forward because I know the time I'm investing here in recovering this X amount of dollars, I could be making a lot more. Plus, I'll be happier moving forward.
No, you're right. You're right. Good point.
Marty, enjoy your day, brother. Thanks for sharing them with us. Go get after it. Have some fun, and we'll catch up later. Okay, pal?
Yes, sir. I'll see y'all tomorrow, man.
Awesome.
Have a good loop, brother.
You too.
We've been having some great success with our protein segment. I ran a little ad last week with our seven ways you can get better protein in your body, and YouTube loved that one. That one took off for us. So we're going to keep leaning into our protein discussions here, Jory, this morning. But guys, have you ever felt mentally foggy, forgetful, or just not sharp? Well, today I'm going to explore with Jory and Jon what happens to your brain when your protein intake falls short. And what we're learning is that it's more critical than you might realize. And Jory, getting enough protein isn't just about muscles. It directly affects your brain function, your mood, and even your risk of dementia. Understanding this connection could drastically enhance your cognitive health and quality of life. Some recent research has suggested that individuals experience significant drops in protein intake, especially animal-based proteins. This struck me, man. Showed a 48% increased risk of cognitive impairment. And protein isn't just for muscles, it's essential for neurotransmitter production like serotonin and dopamine, which regulate your mood and your mental clarity. And long-term protein deficiency can lead to structural brain changes like reduced brain volume and weakened neural connections, increasing vulnerability to neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's diseases. Jory, when I shared this with you this morning, were you aware of some of this stuff? Because I know we talk about protein often for, muscles and strength and longevity, but there's now some research that's telling us it's affecting our brain as well.
Well,
we've got I'm sorry to jump in ahead of time. We've got a little research that already supports this. Keep in mind, there's a joke coming. And if you're vegan, fucking take a fucking chill pill. Vegans do this study for us because here's the deal. You got a group of vegans, you got 100 of them. 50 of them are fucking mad as hell, and the other 50 cheat on their diets.
Jory.
They do it for us. The study fucking goes nonstop.
Jory.
Well.
John, I love it. She's never been speechless on the show. She looked at
you. I'm taking a breather.
We're all going to take our drink of water.
But is this the fucking truth? I swear to God, I get all sorts of shit talkers.
Oh, I love
on
it.
My social media.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, the fucking vegans must lead the charge.
Joy, before I come to you, even more critically, inadequate protein during the development stages can permanently affect brain size and cognitive processing speeds. Jor.
So I think that whether you're vegan or not, it's I love that. I would say it's making sure, vegan or not, you are meeting requirements. And if you're not, you're usually replacing something else. And something else, whether it's alcohol, which also shrinks the brain, or it's high sugar content, which impacts how the brain functions. So you have to look at everything all together. So there's a payoff and a cost to doing something or not doing something.
Yes.
So I would look at it that way. I do agree, though, and I would say the softer side of what Jon is saying. So he'll do the simplified, I'll do the softer side.
Yes.
So I think the softer side would be, when you're vegan, you have to be more conscious in terms of getting those complete proteins in as an adult, especially.
It's a much more difficult job.
Yeah, it's not impossible. It's really critical that you understand how to do that. And because a lot of the protein sources can be really high in carbohydrate and fiber, so you'll fill up on the carbohydrate fiber, but not have room to get those essential amino acids together. So it's not impossible. It's just like, you really need to plan that out, where it's easier in terms of how we're set up and diet culture overall to grab the animal protein sources. They're just convenient that they're there. They're what a lot of us are used to. I've grown up on animal proteins. So I think it's not impossible, but you do really need to take a look at making sure that you're planned, you understand what to combine together, and making sure that you're getting that dose, right? It's almost like now we know that you don't have to necessarily spread out 25 grams throughout the day. You can bolus, right? You can take a whole dose, but it's pretty tricky to get that 40 grams in one dose and through plant-based sources, unless you're using supplementation to help with that.
So here's some takeaways, guys. And we talk about it often, but I'm gonna talk about it again. Prioritize that protein for incorporating diverse quality sources like fish, lean meats, legumes, and dairy, if you're into dairy, into your daily meals, and aim for a balanced protein-rich meal. And here's the reality, guys. Prioritizing protein is not just for athletes. No, it's essential for anyone serious about maintaining cognitive sharpness, emotional balance, and overall wellness. Let's stay proactive about that brain health, because protein is extremely, extremely important for all of us. Johnny?
Well, check this out. So my mother, love her to death. My mama's boy to the core. And God, she's 80? She's going to be 89, right? Still independent, still on her own, but definitely physically slowed down. And there was a period where she was like starting to lose weight, as people do as they get older.
Yeah.
So I started looking at her diet. And I knew there was only so much information I was going to be able to give her. That's just the nature of how it works, But I looked at her breakfast. She was not eating any level of protein for her breakfast. I said, Mom, listen, I'm not telling you what you do. I'm not saying take anything away. I'm just saying at least eat one egg with what you're eating for breakfast, and eat it first. And she was just one egg in the morning made a huge difference in how she felt throughout the day.
Yeah. Well,
one single egg.
It's the power of the egg, right? And then get this, I found a second study for us to talk about this morning, and linking back what you just said, Johnny. But Jimmy, here's the hook. Have you ever wondered if your protein intake could be the secret to managing your blood pressure? There is a fascinating link between protein and hypertension, breaking down how what you eat might just be the best medicine you haven't tried yet. And understanding how protein affects your blood pressure isn't just about numbers on a chart. It's about taking control of your heart health, improving daily energy, and enhancing your long-term well-being. And some research has told us that adequate protein intake supports cardiovascular health, but it also, the studies reveal that people with the highest protein consumption have up to a 40% lower risk of hypertension. Joy, what's hypertension, first of all?
High blood pressure.
There you go.
Well, you know what adding protein in does is it fucking removes some of the shit you're not supposed to be eating.
Yes.
Some of that shit that you're not supposed to be eating is creating all that fucked up stuff. So when you add in the protein, especially a whole protein, it's almost like it's coming in and other shit's getting pushed out.
Yeah. So protein deficiency, guys, can lead to elevated blood pressure, impaired cardiovascular reflexes, and heightened sympathetic nervous system activity. You got to get those key amino acids like arginine and glutamate from protein-rich foods are crucial for nitric oxide production, a key player in keeping blood vessels healthy. So we've learned this morning that, protein is going to lower your blood pressure, and protein is going to keep your brain sharp, and protein is going to help us live longer. Like, Jory, there's no reason not to be eating protein.
No, there's not. There's not a reason to not. There's many reasons to be.
Like, it's really a superfood.
I think, though, we just need to, and I know it seems like it's very simple, but people need to understand, you still want to be smart about which proteins you're choosing, right?
Yes.
So the highly processed proteins, those are treats. Right?
Yes.
They're not part of, you don't have
100%. I'm so glad you said that, Jory.
Yeah. They're not a no, they're just when. And so it's making sure that and how you're preparing your food overall. Yes, we need sodium in there, but if we're already consuming foods that have sodium content in there, for example, I was with someone the other day and they were having their Mr. Noodle, which has like no protein, but it had over 1,200 milligrams of sodium in that one little noodle cup.
Ooh, and probably not a good sodium either. It's a stripped down, no fucking minerals. What do they call it? Sodium chloride. It's just the fucking shit Yeah, that's terrible.
So you really want to take a look at the overall plan. And of course, we know that other nutrients too help lowering blood pressure and keep the brain healthy too, right? So your proteins that have high omega-3s in there. So, your fish content, if you can eat fish. If you can't, there's other options as well. But it's looking at the whole plan, but protein is definitely one. And with aging, it's harder to get in. Appetite is down. But muscle loss is high. So you really want to make sure that you're getting that protein in. I love what John said earlier was get the protein in first and then move to the next.
Yes. So guys, again, I'll repeat what I said earlier, but I'm going to say it again. What can you do starting today? Diversify your protein. Include fish, dairy if you're into dairy, legumes, lean meats, eggs. I know eggs are expensive, but eat them. And Johnny, what are we aiming for grams of protein per body weight when you're sitting down and crushing?
Well, real quick, I just want to add to what you said, brother. Yeah. That's a great first step, but that might be too complex.
Yes.
From somebody who's not eating enough fucking protein, just find a source and start fucking eating it. Let the web of different types find its way in. Yeah. Just take the first step. Well, I like chicken. Well, fucking eat chicken.
That's a good point.
Well, I don't like to eat cooked chicken. Go to the fucking store and buy a bunch of rotisserie chickens.
Yes.
There's always some simple version of what needs to be done.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny, Johnny, I found myself looking in the fridge yesterday because I had to have some dinner and I was like, am I hungry? And what I was in my head going, what I was hungry for. And then I thought of Johnny going, well, if you're really hungry, you'll just eat the protein. You know what I did? I sat down with my bowl of pulled chicken and had a pulled chicken wrap. I had a little like a low carb wrap. Judge it all you want. But then I threw a bunch of fucking protein in it and just crushed it. Just basic protein and wrap and I was done. But it was that choice in my head of, am I really hungry or am I just hungry because I think I'm hungry? You know what I mean, Johnny?
If you're really hungry, you're going to eat the shit that you're supposed to eat. If you're not hungry, you're looking for something outside the guideline.
Yes, exactly right.
Probably trying to feed something else, right?
Yes.
Exactly right. So, guys, we're going to talk protein. That's what we're talking about this morning with Jory Jansen. Jory, what do you got going on What do you got going on your 3 day today?
Well, I'm going to try to get a lot of work done today because the rest of the week is done. We've got dance competition this week, and then we're heading up to Moose Jaw for a volleyball competition on Friday. So,
fun.
It's going to be busy week, both work-wise and family-wise.
Awesome. And
sounds like a fun one. Sounds like a fun week.
And Amy Ryder comes in with noodle cups are poison. Yes, they are poison. They're full of sodium and full of MSG, right? Those noodle cups are just 70 cents.
No fiber content. There's no protein content. There's some fat content, but not the decreasing inflammation kind of fat content. No, it's an explosion in the body content.
Like, what are you actually eating, Jory, when you're eating a noodle bowl? Like, what are you actually eating? Is it actually food?
In those like ramen type of,
Yeah.
it's something. It's convenience.
It's not food, it's convenience. I love that. That's what it actually is.
Well, you remember earlier I was talking about, Keith, with, if we put a lot of our food under a microscope, we'd see a bunch of fucked up shit. I did see there was I don't know if it was a thing of Top Ramen or it was a cup or a bowl.
Yeah.
The amount of little bugs that were fucking jumping from noodle to noodle was insane. It was like, it was almost like you didn't have to, like, sometimes you have to like look and wait for something to move. Oh, there it is. No. It was just like a fucking swarm of these little bastards jumping around.
And then you got Amy Reinhardt, Jory. She tries so hard not to judge the food. Love Jory. That's Amy coming at you. And yes, Amy, we can see the smile on Jory's face going, "Oh, yeah, okay. If you want to have the ramen, go have the ramen. But here's what you're actually eating: is you're eating convenience."
Well, yeah. When you eat the ramen, if you eat the fucking cup, the body probably doesn't know much of a difference between what was in the cup or the cup.
Oh man.
I try not to, make too much of a judgment, only because I don't want to judge someone's heart. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
Someone's intention is really good.
Yes.
So if we just look at the action,
yes,
or and the behavior, not the person, then you can do the correction, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so that's kind of my approach.
I love it.
That's it. Like, some stuff is just shit.
Yes, Johnny, we got her to say the word. Oh, I don't think I've heard you say that before.
And there was quite, and we always talk about how wonderful her smile is. And when she said that curse word, that smile got even bigger.
There's just stuff that's not good. I mean, have some fun, right?
That's right.
But yeah, if your intention is to be the best version of you, then you got to make some decisions.
And maybe the decision doesn't include ramen. Jory, you
could probably make a nice noodle dish pretty healthy.
Yeah, 100%. Yes.
Hey, if it's sitting on the shelf for years and you can eat it.
Yeah, that's it.
If your food doesn't spoil, you got a problem.
Hey, George, did you hear? Yeah, I wouldn't expect you heard the top of the shoulder, but the researchers found some cans of salmon that had been sitting in a pantry since 1979, and they opened the cans of salmon up and found worms inside of them, in a positive way, because what it was a reflection on the ecosystem where the salmon came from. But just the fact of the matter is that there's cans of salmon from the pantry from 1979. You're thinking, I'm going to go crush the salmon. Oh, man, and there's worms inside of it. I don't know how I feel about that.
Jerry, correct if I'm wrong, but in some of this farm salmon, haven't they actually found fucking worms in this farm salmon that's not in a fucking can?
Probably. I mean,
I'm pretty sure that they've actually found, because the way they farm these things, they're feeding them, let's not even go into that. But there's so much toxicity going in there that these little parasites are developing. And, you literally can buy a farmed salmon right out of the store. And sometimes they did some sort of an observation, or hate to use the word study, where they were finding little bitty worms in this shit, which makes sense. I mean, you think about, nasty.
That's it.
I mean, there's a good reason why we've got so many acids in our stomach, because we need to be able to keep ourselves healthy and well. And so our body is so cool in that it works so hard to keep us healthy and well. And so if we can just do a little bit on our end and respect what our body's trying to do for us, and that is just doing one little bit better in our nutrition. So one little bit better today will be, let's get protein in at breakfast or lunch, depending what time zone you're in. That's a little bit better, right? And a little bit better might be something to someone else. So our bodies already know how to detox. Our body already knows how to break things down and keep us from getting sick. But we also have to do our part, right? It's like people need to do their part in recycling. Well, we can do our part in terms of what we're putting into our body. More often than not, I think it's really important to start doing.
This is true. Hey, Jory, is it Turpa Score you're going to this week with? Is that the dance competition you got going on this week? The move. Gotcha.
Center.
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, we got Piper at her dance competition later this week as well. So, Awesome. George, thanks for hanging out this morning, crushing some protein discussion, talking parasites, talking ramen noodles, talking everything. You have yourself an awesome day today. We'll catch up with you later this week.
Awesome. Yeah. And just so everyone knows, I swore today.
Yes, we got it down here. The seal's been broken, George.
You're on record. You're on record, George.
Next time I'll say poop.
That's it. All right, George's out of here. Johnny's going to go for a reset. And we're going to come back towards the back end of the show here. Thanks, George. We'll talk to you later. Johnny, going to go for a break. We'll come back and rock and roll. Okay, pal?
You got it.
I got a couple things for you. All right, Johnny's going to step away for a few moments, guys. I'm going to reset the show. This is Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends, the only morning show to help you guys get your ass to bed, not hit the snooze button, achieve some big-ass goals. Today, we've been talking about 3 ways that you can break through and feeling stuck. We got Rick Clody coming in with everyone feels stuck from time to time, but it's hard to get stuck if you keep moving in the right direction. Progress, not perfection. Listen. Movement creates momentum. We hear about that all the time. And then Rick also says, let's get those inner critics that dominate your mind. We can set the mental narrative. Don't let the critics get you. Don't let the critics get you, guys. And then we had a good conversation with Jory around protein. And listen, we know protein helps with longevity, but protein also helps with the brain. Got to get that protein, you guys. Get after it, get after it, get after it. And it's also going to help lower that blood pressure. So, just a little bit of tips to help you guys get through your day here. Hey, coming up in a few moments, we're going to get the Creator Spotlight on the LinkedIn side of things in the community corner. But before we do that, as Johnny comes back here from his restroom break, I got a couple of things I want to throw at him this morning, which I found were quite fascinating. Let's start with this one, guys. Are microplastics silently hijacking your brain? Yes, microplastics are everywhere. Scientists are revealing some startling findings. Jimmy, here's the hook. Could the plastic we use every day be silently invading our brains? Today, I got some discoveries that reveals alarmingly high levels of microplastics accumulating in human brain tissue. Potentially affecting your memory, your mental clarity, and your long-term brain health. Listen, here's the thing. Understanding how microplastics affect our brain health isn't just scientific curiosity. It's crucial to preventing neurological issues, enhancing cognitive function, and safeguarding our future well-being. Some studies have been published in Nature Medicine, Johnny, discovering microplastics in human brain tissues with concentrations jumping. This got me, man. From jumping by 50% from 2016 to 2024. Even more concerning, individuals diagnosed with dementia showed 3 to 5 times higher concentrations of microplastics compared to others. These particles, mostly polyethylene from everyday packaging, have infiltrated our brains at levels far exceeding those in other organs. And now researchers, Johnny, are raising red flags about their potential role in neurological diseases like dementia and Alzheimer's. Dude, they're everywhere. Talk about what are your thoughts on microplastics?
Well, there's no question we're finding out some pretty heavy shit about this. And if you go back in time, let's just think about one element.
Yes.
What did we not see 20 years ago in terms of how people, just ate and drank? We didn't see the plastic water bottle.
No, it was using glass.
Yes. And so all of a sudden our water gets to the point where people want to have bottled water. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden everybody drinks out of it. I just kind of converted to metal bottles recently myself because it was just, there was too much evidence for me to ignore.
Yes. Yes.
But when it comes down to it, if you think about it, we're just, our society's changed so much. Everybody's in a rush. Everything's about efficiency. And plastic has been a big, big part of that.
Yes.
People want to eat something and throw the package away, not eat something and have to wash the dish.
It's true. It's true. So guys, here's something for you. Here's how you can immediately reduce your microplastic exposure as you go through your day. Switch to filtered tap water instead of bottled water. Doing that's going to drastically reduce your microplastic intake by up to 90%. And here, we talked about this a few moments ago. Choose natural packaging. Glass, stainless steel, and even bamboo can significantly cut down exposure. I'd invite you guys to pause and look through your day today and look at all the microplastic you might or might not be consuming, and you won't even be aware of it. crazy.
It's pretty heavy.
Johnny,
It's
get
heavy,
this.
you know. And the thing about this is, this is something that we've discovered. Just think in 10 years, there's going to be something else. I mean, it shouldn't even have in 10 years. It's just we're constantly learning about how we're polluting ourselves and didn't know it.
Yes. Hey, I got something for you. Imagine sitting down at a wonderful restaurant. You're sitting down for a relaxing meal. You're having some great grub, and then only finding out later that all of the food in your dish was contaminated in the most shocking way imaginable. Dude, there's a restaurant chain over in Asia where diners faced an unimaginable surprise in their broth. I don't know if I was telling you this, but on February,
No, this is all fucking news to me,
this is
dude.
crazy, man. On February 24th at a restaurant in Shanghai, 2 teenagers were caught on video urinating into the hot pot of broth, igniting.
They find that shit even like in fast food restaurants in America.
Dude,
you know, people jumping up and fucking taking a dump in a bean burrito at Taco Bell.
Dude, they were pissing in the broth on the stove, and they served the broth to all the patrons in the restaurant, and they affected over 4,000 customers.
Did anything happen to them, the customers?
No, you know, they got the restaurant got ahead of it, and they detained the culprits. But they got ahead of it. They offered
after 4,000 people were contaminated,
and they offered a full refund plus 10 times their bill, and then took legal action against the teenagers involved. I can tell you this, man. I've worked in restaurants where I've seen people with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Somebody in the restaurant has pissed off the server. The server goes to the back. And the server creates the big old loogie in his throat and then goes and, you know, horks on all the food and takes it out there. Like, I've seen that with my own eyes. And, you know, you try to stop somebody, but when the guy's a douchebag, the guy's a douchebag. But I've seen it. And the fact when I saw this story, I was like, oh my goodness, people pissed in the broth. It's got to make you question what you're eating sometimes, Johnny.
I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, it's like, I mean, they were even in remember the movie, I think it was either Casino or Goodfellas, where I think it was Casino, where the guy was one of the mobs guys had a restaurant. And the cops were coming to get sandwiches, and he opened up the sandwich and fucking hawked a loogie and it closed it up and gave it to the cop.
Yes.
You know, and it's I mean, you have to think that this stuff goes on a lot more than we know. That's why when I'm in a restaurant, if someone's giving me poor service, the last thing I'm going to do is fucking rake them over the coals.
Right.
Fuck, you know?
Yeah, well, that's just an awareness thing. And Benzie, you're right. Stay away from the fast food restaurants, anyways. And I'm glad you threw your plastics away. Hey, Johnny, have you had any buddies in the Navy SEALs over your lifetime? I got to think you've crossed paths, or you've known some guys, or have you known any guys?
Yeah, I had a stepbrother who was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah,
he passed away when he was young, but like just straight up, fuck. I mean, these are people who have been basically they've been developed mentally in a way that most people can't comprehend.
It's the Navy SEAL fascinates me. Have you ever wondered how Navy SEALs manage to sleep under extreme stress, even in battle zones? Well, I got some revealing secrets behind how elite military personnel fall asleep fast, helping them master the art of rapid rest, recovery, and ultimate resilience. And Johnny, mastering these quick sleep techniques isn't just about rest, as we know, it's about optimizing performance, improving mental clarity, and transforming daily productivity. Johnny, I got these 3 powerful techniques and I want to share them with you. Number 1, the military sleep method. Developed by the U.S. Army to help soldiers sleep anywhere in under 2 minutes by systematically relaxing muscles from your face down to your toes, paired with controlled breathing. Number 2, the Navy SEAL power nap, popularized by Jocko Willink, involves lying flat with legs elevated above the heart for just 8 to 12 minutes. This enhances blood flow and quickly revitalizes cognitive functions without sleep inertia. And then number 3, Johnny, is the 4-7-8 breathing technique. And this was popularized by Dr. Andrew Weil. This yogic breathing technique calms the nervous system by inhaling for 4 seconds, holding the breath for 7 seconds, and then exhaling slowly for 8 seconds. Ideal for rapid sleep induction. When I heard about this third one, I thought about you, the way that you count yourself in, and you use, but you use breathing to count yourself in. I found this fascinating as a way to put yourself to sleep.
Well, granted, this is all really cool information, you know, and for me, yeah, it's almost like everything is a system. I mean, Christ, when I get out of the shower and I'm putting lotion on, I get 3 pumps on my left leg, 3 pumps on my right leg, 4 pumps on my upper body, a pump on my head. It's like everything is systematically laid out. Well, I'm taking a nap, or if I'm going to sleep, I basically lay down. I move the pillow so that I'm totally flat.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll basically arch back. I'll arch my head and really, really like arch my back. And there's something about going deep into that position.
Yeah.
It's like my body starts to relax, and that's the beginning of me kind of, it's like that's the signal that tells my body, okay, it's time.
I think you've really described like this military method, which is systematically relaxing your body starting from your face. So it sounds to me like when you get your pillows sorted out, in your head, you're starting to relax your face, and then your head.
Well, actually move the pillow out of the way, right? So the first thing I do is I tip my head and then to my spine.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like it is going top to bottom. I wasn't really thinking about it from the face. I was just thinking my spine more than anything else. But I think having, triggers or signals or whatever they'll call it, that tells the body, hey, it's time. Like at 11 o'clock, my body knows that there's going to be a 15-minute nap somewhere close by.
Yes.
So I give it that signal, pow, it goes down. Nighttime, about 8 o'clock, same thing. So it's like a dog that knows it's time to eat. He doesn't know time. He just knows it's time to eat. Well, the body's the same thing.
Yes. Well, so you talk about systems, man. Well, and they talk about, the Navy SEALs use systems to go to sleep rapidly, right? Whether it's the military sleep method, taking your face and concentrating on relaxing your face all the way down to your toes, or the Jocko Willemic philosophy, which is, laying down with legs elevated for about 8 to 12 minutes. Or the breathing technique from Andrew Weil. The reality is, guys, there's 3 techniques here, and we talked even about cannabis this morning on the show as well. But there are techniques to help you get to sleep rapidly, and that's.
And I think one that we should add in for the everyday person.
Yes.
If so many people, they climb in fucking bed and they're with their phone. Do not fucking get in bed with your phone. It is like the idea is to slow the brain down, not to fucking speed it up with scrolling or whatever you're doing.
Doomsday scrolling.
I can't tell how many people I work with, clients I work with on sleep. And so I start asking about their sleep environment, their sleep hygiene. Is it dark? Is it cold? Yes. Are you doing anything? And for a lot of times, oh no, I'm not doing anything. And then I start asking more questions and I start to realize, oh, you're doing something. You're looking at your fucking phone and what you're doing. But that's become such a, looking at your phone is almost, no, I'm not doing anything. I'm just looking at my phone.
Yeah. Well, that's what I find funny, right, is that we take it for granted because you're like, well, I'm not doing anything. Well, no, you're doing something. Well, yeah, but I'm holding my phone in my hand. Oh, your brain's on that, brother. Right. So I will admit, I look at it a little differently. I don't mind, like, for example, last night, true story. Last night I was laying in bed, I was about to fall asleep, and I was reading my phone, Johnny, like this. And then as I was falling asleep,
fall on your face.
That's exactly what happened. It fell on my face. And at that point, I knew it was time to put it over there and go to sleep. And true story, I took it off my face, rolled over, put it on my nightstand, and I was done. I know Laura watched it last night before bed. I didn't even know what she watched. I was out like a light after I got rid of the bruising on my face.
And the thing, I think there's probably a lot of people who are doing something, they're watching something on their phone.
Yes.
That's not conducive to slowing it down.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And someone that doesn't have a set bedtime, doesn't hydrate properly, doesn't eat. There's so many things that's keeping the body, at angst. And then your dopamine hitting it nonstop, scrolling. Body's like, this is not time to go to sleep.
Hey, brother, question for you. I bring it up because Scott Benzie's question here: Zen music, train noise, or even prop airplane noise. Can you go to sleep in an empty noise space, or do you need white noise? And hold on before you answer that, because I recall when I went to a place in Fogo Island in Newfoundland a number of years back, and it was so quiet, no internet, no TVs, no music. They actually had a button in the room for a white noise machine that if you did not like how quiet it was, it gave you something to hear. Do you have that kind of, what's your perspective on that, Johnny? Because some folks
I have something it's a little different, but I mean very similar.
Yeah.
So I travel with a fan because I sleep every single night. It's that fan is blowing straight in my face. Now it's actually creating some white noise.
Yes, it is.
But it's the breeze on my face, another signal.
Yes. Oh yeah, you like that, eh? On your face directly.
Oh yeah, 100%. A lot of times when I wake up, take a piss, sometimes I'll move it away if it's too strong. It puts me to sleep, point blank.
Oh, interesting. I don't know if I can do it directly on your face. Eh? Like I find that would be kind of maybe annoying after a while. That's fascinating to me.
It's a cooling mechanism also, because if I don't have that there, even if the room is cool, right, like with air conditioning, there's something about, because you lose a lot of temperature through your head.
Yes.
And so to sleep, our body temperature needs to dip a little bit.
Okay.
So it helps drop my body temperature to where I'll sleep faster.
Oh yeah. Buddy, you're out of here. We're up to our 90-minute mark. We, as you saw, the show here had a lot of energy, a lot of pace to it today. I spent a lot of, I've been rolling up the sleeves, getting into our YouTube stats and stuff, and trying things out, testing things out here, and continuing to create value for our audience. So, one of the taglines that I was playing with this morning was morning news that men can use. We had a lot of great nuggets today for our audience today. A lot of good stuff, a lot of good takeaways. As you know, the themes today were about sleeping. Men can break through when feeling stuck. We had some good discussions around protein. It was a good show today, man. Pissing in the pot.
Absolutely, brother.
Good show.
Absolutely. Today. They're always good shows. Whether it's a combination of helpful and comedic information, or it's lopsided, it's good every time. Laughter is something that people need. I love it. I love the laughter, man. And when we get Jory swearing, we know it's a good show.
Brother, what do you got going on today, pal? What's one thing you're gonna knock off you're knocking off your agenda today? Just one thing.
I'm gonna knock things off all the time. Goodness, like something that's outside of my normal rhythm.
I think Benzie answered it before you're ready. The meaning of a good dump, because you started your.
When you say knock off, are you talking about something I don't normally do, or something that I normally do in my rhythm?
Yeah, what's one thing you're going to kick off today in your rhythm today that you're going to feel good about? Is there one thing? Or actually, here's a better question: is there something on your list today that you're feeling reluctant about, or are you tackling the day today with joy?
Oh yeah, I mean, there's always, keep in mind, like my workout. I'm always going to have this kind of, I enjoy my workouts, but I always have this little thing inside me that's like, oh, do you need to do this? Oh, do you need that? Because my brain's trying to talk me into the easy way.
Of course.
Of course, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do what I'm scheduled to do, but that's what makes it feel so good.
I love how the brain plays tricks this, right? So I got my lifting this morning, got my running this morning, and I'm gonna go do a post-show lift as well here. And my brain was telling me to do one thing, and I was like, no, fuck man, that's the easy thing. I'm not doing that. I'm doing the harder thing this morning. But it's funny how our brain convinces us to go down the easy path, eh? Oh my God.
Non-stop.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Hey, how's Terry's shoulder doing?
She's getting better little by little. Mobility's coming back. It's just a lot of weird nerve pain she's dealing with.
Oh, yeah.
But the good news about that is it kind of comes in spurts.
Yes. Yeah. All right, pal. Well, listen, you get after you. Have yourself a great day today. Myself and Jimmy are going to wrap up with the community corner. We're going to do a couple creator spotlights, and we're going to wrap it up and get after it. And we'll be back tomorrow. Less than 24 hours in the loop.
Have a good loop, brother.
All right, pal. You too. All right, Johnny's going to get out of here. He's getting out of here this morning. You're left with me, producer Jimmy, and Melissa behind the scenes. Appreciate all you guys hanging out this morning. Great show. Lot of great topics we got into this morning. A lot of good stuff. We're going to keep working at it. So we are going to kick off this discussion with, this is not supposed to go up there. This should go over here, actually. Jimmy, we're doing the community corner part of the show here now. I'm pulling up the old No. Hold on. Let's try this here. All right. Let's try this here one more time. Okay. So you're not going to work for me? All right. Then I'll do this then. All right. Okay. So we got a community corner. We got the creator spotlight coming up here on the show here. It's this time where we like to take somebody and celebrate them. And it would be really great if my notes were in the right spot, which they currently aren't at the moment here, which is a little frustrating too. That's okay. So listen, you ever chase a dream for decades only to realize that the dream wasn't yours? You grind, you sacrifice, you do everything right. You're thinking, yeah, I'm just doing it right. I'm going all in the right direction. The promotions come, the money stacks up, the world calls it success. You're like, yeah, hey, dude, you're successful. But then you one day and you think, no, this really isn't it. This isn't really successful. Then you push the feelings down. You tell yourself to be grateful. You work harder until your body forces you to stop. Your body's like, no, man, you can't keep doing that. And that's when you face the truth. You built something incredible, but it's not the life that you actually want. You're like, oh, what am I doing here? This is not the life that I actually wanted. Well, listen, the guy we're celebrating this morning knows that moment. He lived it. And he did what most won't. He burned the old plan and he built a new one. He had a career that people dream about. Inventor, engineer, founder, product leader, award-winning professor, sought-after speaker, coaching the best. Yeah, baby, coaching the best at Berkeley, Google, and even in Waterloo. On paper, this guy was winning. But in reality, this dude was stuck. He kept pushing until his body says, no, fuck it. I'm shutting down. Done. Boop, 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 shutting down. A hospital bed moment, a career wake-up call. So this guy made a choice. His choice was this. No more chasing someone else's definition of success. No, baby. No more climbing someone else's ladder. I'm not climbing your ladder. No, that's your ladder. Instead, this guy designed a new game. Moonshot OS, a system for building deeply ambitious, life-changing work. Now, this guy isn't just coaching people on strategy. He's giving them the digital transformation to scale their vision, the tools to execute, and the systems to grow. No more someday. Hey, you know that day in the book we talk about someday? Yeah, I'm going to do it someday. Well, this guy is like, no more someday. No more burnout cycles, just real transformation. So this morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is excited to celebrate. Jimmy, let's get it up on stage, my friend. We're going to celebrate Alex Brenton. Alex Brenton, there you go, my friend. We're celebrating you this morning. If you're staring at the second half of your life and you're thinking, now what? Alex Brenton can help you. This dude has Moonshot OS, an operating system for building deeply ambitious, life-changing work. So I invite you to check out Alex over on LinkedIn and check out his content. Check out what he has to say. This guy's had a career that most people dream about, like I said. He's been an inventor, an engineer, a founder, a product leader, an award-winning professor, sought-after speaker, coaching the best at Google, Berkeley, and Waterloo. So I'd invite you to check out Alex over on LinkedIn. Follow him. And Alex, here's how it works, brother. We'd love to have you on the show. Since we're celebrating you, we believe there's somebody in your orbit worth celebrating. So we want to have them on our show. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. So Alex, come hang out with us. Come bring your name so we can celebrate somebody in your orbit on the next Community Corner Creator Spotlight. All right. Next one coming up here is, there it is right over there. It showed up on the right screen this time. Makes me happy. Okay, Jim, let's get after this next one here. So listen, as you guys know, we like to do things over on LinkedIn and over on Substack. Listen, by the way, you can find our Substack at inside.bappel.ai. All the behind the scenes stuff that we're building here is we're building the world's biggest morning show for men. Guys, aging isn't a problem because we're going to age, but losing strength is. And you can make a choice not to lose that strength. One day you wake up and things feel different. The workouts don't hit the same. The energy dips. The sharpness fades just a smidgen. And then suddenly you're wondering, is this just how it goes? Well, listen, it doesn't have to be. This guy, we're going to celebrate here in a moment, spent his life uncovering the truth, Pulitzer-nominated journalist, New York Times investigator, a guy who built his career exposing the bullshit and calling it out. Now, he's tackling one of the biggest lies out there, that aging, that happens to all of us, that it means decline. No, it doesn't. Not if you know how to fight back. The guy we're celebrating this morning built Aging with Strength, a no-nonsense guide to getting stronger, not weaker as you age. He does the research, he questions the studies, he finds the real answers. No gimmicks, no fluff, just real strategies for staying strong physically, mentally, emotionally, nutritionally, and spiritually, because aging isn't about winding down. This morning, Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends is proud and excited to celebrate Jimmy, let's get after it, Paul von Zielbauer. What's up, Paul? We're celebrating you this morning, my brother. Paul built Aging with Strength, a no-nonsense guide to getting stronger, not weaker as you age. Yeah, and if you're serious about getting stronger, not softer, Paul's the guy to follow. You got to follow him on Substack and check out his newsletter, Aging with Strength. Guys, we're all getting older, and aging doesn't have to be about winding down. What it can be is about leveling up. I had a great conversation with my wife last night. She's like, no, as I'm getting older, I'm looking to tackle new things. How can I do 10 minutes more here? How can I do 15 minutes more here? How can I get stronger over here? How can I get faster over here? That's what aging's about, you guys. Aging is not about slowing down. Aging's not about winding down. Aging's not about dying. Aging is about taking our kids tobogganing, skiing, hiking as we get into our 70s and 80s and 90s. And a guy like Paul is going to help you do that with his Substack, Aging with Strength. So this morning, want to celebrate you, Paul, on your Aging with Strength Substack over here on Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. And how it works is we are now inviting you to the show. Why? Because we believe there's somebody in your orbit we can bring on to celebrate as well in this whole idea of paying it forward. So there we go, Jimmy. There we go, nation. That is our Community Corner, Creator Spotlight. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. Woo, baby. All right. The show is almost over. Big one today. Woo, big one. Let's do a quick little recap here today. What did we get after here today, guys? Guys, we kicked it off in the morning loop. The first 15 minutes of the show. Morning news that men can use. That's a little tagline we're playing with here. Guys, if you just got 15 minutes of your day, come join the first 15 minutes of the show. It's unpredictable. We got content, we got knowledge, we got stuff to help you get through your day. Today we talked about, the cans of salmon, the cans of tuna, the cans of products sitting in your pantries. Yeah, if they're sitting there since the 70s, you might want to have the question about them. We also talked about the Meta. Meta's launching community notes. So if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, you're on any of the Meta's products, Threads, and if you're also on X. If you're on X, you're familiar with community notes. They've taken the community notes product and moving it over to all the Meta products. It's going to affect you. So I invite you to check that out so that you're comfortable in knowing how the community notes feature works. We also talked about how cannabis can help you with sleep. Talked about that earlier on in the first part of the show. We got the accountability check-in as well. Guys, during Center Stage, we talked about porn. We talked about why it's important now to talk about pornography with our children. Guys, it's not difficult to open up any app on your phone right now, Instagram, X, and see all of the content that is affecting our children's brains. So if you're not having the conversation with porn with your children, who is? Good morning, Obscure. I see you there. Good to have you here in the show this morning. Just kind of doing a recap of what we talked about here this morning. And guys, in porn addiction, chasing the dopamine, all that shit's real. So have the conversations with your children about pornography. I think it's actually something we're going to work on leaning into here on the show. I don't know who's having conversations with our kids about porn, so maybe it's something we're going to talk to and talk more about here on the show. We also talked about 3 ways successful men can break through when feeling stuck. We talked habit stacking. We talked, mental strategies to keep ourselves moving forward. We talked about values and so forth. And then when George joined the show, we talked on our protein break how low protein intake might be aging your mind. And we talked about unlocking the protein secret, the hidden key to lower blood pressure. Guys, the reality is this. I hate the word superfood, but the fact of the matter is protein has so much value. Hence, we're leaning into it and creating a lot of great content and conversation about it. We talked about this group of kids that are pissing in the soup. Yeah, I said it. They pissed in the soup in China. A lot of folks ate it and they got rebates back from the restaurant. Big reaction. And we also learned 3 techniques to go to sleep immediately and quickly using some techniques from the U.S. military, specifically the Navy SEALs. And then we closed off with our Creator Spotlight Community Corner. Oh, we also talked about the microplastics that are silently hijacking our brain. A lot of the products that we're eating or drinking from have microplastics, and as folks are aging, we're finding a lot of microplastics in humans' brains. So we want to be aware, make better choices, maybe glass, as I drink out of my plastic cup every single day. I just like my plastic cup. I've had this thing forever, and I just seem to drink out of it constantly. And then, of course, we celebrated a couple great humans over on the Creator Spotlight here, Alex Bruton and the other fellow that I don't recall his name at the moment. We also celebrated Paul, where's his name? Paul von Zielbauer here this morning in the Community Corner segment of the show. All right. Well, listen, I think it's time to wrap up here this morning. It's bottom of the hour here, coming up on 8:42, 9:42 Eastern time. Yes, obscure. It was Paul. Yeah, it's exactly. It was Paul Van Buren was the person that we were celebrating there. And I'm trying to find my walkout music. Let me see here. There it is right there. That's it right there. Hey, guys, great show, great conversation. We're back tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time right here. Mornings in Live with Keith and friends, myself, Jon Andersen, C. Marty Fit, producer Jimmy, good friend, good colleague, good accomplice behind the scenes, Melissa, hanging out with us as well, creating good content to help us grow the business. Guys, listen, if you can come find me on LinkedIn, come find me, Keith Bilous, over on LinkedIn. Come find our channel on YouTube, Mornings in the Lab. I invite you to check us out there. We get after it every single day, like I said, here, right here, 8 o'clock Eastern time, myself, Jon and Marty. Conversations that move you forward, conversations that get your ass out of bed, conversations that help you eliminate the snooze button. And we all kick it off with the Morning Loop, morning news that men can use every single day, right here. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8 o'clock, right here. Less than 24 hours. We do it again. We'll see you. Have a good day, guys. Out of here. Bye-bye.